And we are live. Good afternoon. It is Black Friday. What does that mean to you? Have you succumbed to any Black Friday deals? Hello. Good to see you all. If you have spent any money on Black Friday, let us know. Give us a yay in the comments. Tell us what you bought on Black Friday. What did you buy on Black Friday? Fingers on keyboards. Give us a tap. Tell us what you bought on Black Friday. I'm keen to see. As I'm going to post later, I've saved £999 on a widescreen TV on Black Friday because I didn't buy a widescreen TV. So I saved £999. Isn't that fantastic? So if you bought a Black Friday deal, let us know in the comments. I'll be interested to hear what you may have purchased. Also, whilst you're doing that, just a little bit of housekeeping. Can you let us? Can you click on the banner that's going on the bottom there, or rather type that into your browser, streamyard.com/Facebook. If you haven't already done that, that gives StreamYard permission to show and display your Facebook profile name, so I know who you are. But if you're here, say hello, say yay, hello Johnny, so I can actually see you. I'm hoping you can hear me. Obviously, tell us if you can hear me. Simon Wellstead's here, live and watching. Good lad. Yeah, if you're here, say hi, folks. Say hi. We're going to talk about something really exciting today, which is about how to eliminate competition. And this does work, by the way. This does work. The old how to eliminate competition hack is very, very important. And it's as much a mindset thing for you as anything else. It enables your clients, your ideal clients, to see you as not just an expert, but as the authority in your space, as somebody who's doing something genuinely different. So keep those comments flowing. If you're here, say hello so I can see you. Oh, my lovely friend Caroline's here. Caroline Day. Hello, Johnny, says Caroline. That's fantastic. So Simon's made himself known, so has Caroline. If you're here, don't be shy. Type on the keyboards. Let us know that you are here and watching this. We are using the glorious platform of StreamYard, by the way. So if you're liking what you see here, don't be afraid to hop on over to streamyard.com and look at that platform. It works really, really well. You will also want to give StreamYard permission to display your Facebook name. So it's right here. We're actually streaming, and you may be indeed watching the recording or live from my Facebook page, from Johnny Cooper Global, from the Johnny X Marketing Facebook group, or one of my other groups. You might also be watching on LinkedIn, which is a nice development that StreamYard have built in recently, that you can actually watch this on LinkedIn, which is brilliant. And bizarrely, this is also streaming onto my Twitter account at Johnny Cooper on Twitter. I don't know about Twitter. Do you? Is Twitter going to actually resurrect itself and become something fantastic in the next few weeks? Who knows? Who knows what they're up to? All right, let's get started with the topic for today. We're going to have a nice, tight 30-minute-ish sort of session. And it's an idea about eliminating competition. Now, before we start, let me just lay some ground about how you may be suffering by comparison with competition. How you may have inadvertently commoditized your work. What we mean by that is a commodity is something that can be swapped for something else, isn't it? Commodity is something which is readily available, that numbers of companies and organizations or people are offering it, and therefore anybody looking for a particular thing that is a commodity has lots of choice. What we want to do, of course, the holy grail for us, is to eliminate the concept of choice in the minds and hearts of our perfect clients. We want them to see us, don't we, as the one and only solution. to their big expensive problem. So what I mean by commoditizing your services is if you're going out into the world declaring that you are, I saw this just the other day, um, a life coach. And what I saw the other day was a lady who's celebrating the fact that she's just been accredited as a life coach. And she said in her profile, I am now fully qualified to coach you. Well, two things about that. That doesn't give you a lot of confidence, does it, that this person is a rookie? It's like someone who's just passed their driving test working for you as a chauffeur. I probably wouldn't want that, would you? No, so when we see that, we think, okay, there's not a lot of confidence in the fact that she's just been accredited, this lovely lady. But secondly, the fact that she described herself as a coach. How many other coaches are out there? How many other people are doing coaching and all that kind of stuff? Same in therapy, the various therapy modalities, which are very crowded spaces, aren't they? Hypnotherapy, NLP, CBT, counseling, tapping, Reiki. I could go on. If you describe yourself only as a practitioner in any of those disciplines, then you have commoditized your services, because that's going to enable the people who are following you or are looking for that kind of thing to compare your work with other people's. Can you just give us a yay if that's sunk in, if that makes sense? Give us a hell yes if that concept makes sense, that by describing yourself in any of those ways, as a coach or therapist or any variety thereof, you're commoditizing your service. Give us a yeah in the comments if that makes sense. If you get the hang of that, I'm just going to have a sip of my afternoon coffee. Right, so we have some consensus on that. Good. Okay, so what is the antidote to that? What is the thing that we can do to stop that happening? Well, I'll tell you, shall I? Just momentarily, I just want to check in the JHM Facebook group that we are actually live in this place. We're not missing any live streams. Yeah, it's actually in the group that I can see. Okay, so how do we stop this happening? And Simon, by the way, he's in full agreement here. Simon's a very good friend of mine. We've been working together for quite some time now. Simon understands, and in fact, he's readily developing a lot of these ideas, with his tribe. I bang on about this to all my tribe, my group, and my clients. Yeah, exactly. Because what happens? We didn't mention this, but what happens when you commoditize your services is that you become price sensitive. Your clients can shop around, as we've said, and oftentimes they'll see through any claims you make to experience and skill and all that, and they'll just shop around on price. Well, that's the other thing with a commodity. The commodities market. You probably know about this. This is all forms of fuels and metals and stuff that raw materials. It is 100% on price, isn't it? 100% on price. If a therm of gas costs a certain price, and somebody's offering a little bit cheaper, then they're going to go for the cheaper one because there's no difference in it. Now, this is the problem you'll have as a coach or therapist if you commoditize your services. If you don't get any further than saying, I'm a coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach, I'm an exec coach, any of that stuff, people will shop around on price. Okay, so point made. Let's have a look at how we are going to avoid that. How we're going to springboard out of this commoditization of our services and become something unique. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share the screen on you. I'm going to read down this screen. This is actually my daily brain tattoo from a couple of days ago, and there's a lesson in there which I'll come back to shortly. Let me just put my glasses on so I'm pressing the right button. I don't want to break it. Okay, so let's have a look. Share screen. I'm going to share this screen here. Right, okay, I have to stream. All right, so this is what I was talking about the other day. this idea of who you really are, what it is you bring to the world, what's different about all that. Holy shit, let me get more people in this awesome call. One second, my friend. Yes, I'd love to know who you are as well, because Facebook user, look at this sweary little message. I love the shit out of you. It's so awesome. Isn't that nice? Who is this person? If you give Facebook permission via streamyard.com/Facebook, right? If you go to this thing, just bear with me a second. We'll get there in a minute. What's along the bottom of the screen here? It's streamyard.com/Facebook. Click on that link or go to that link, streamyard.com/Facebook. Give it permission to show your name, and then we know who the bloody hell you are. But thanks very much for that glorious endorsement of what we're doing. Holy shit, let me get more people in this awesome call. Right, okay. Well, we'll continue anyway, because obviously there's a ton of you watching it live. So who are you is the big question. And what we mean by that, of course, is you are not a therapist, you're not a life coach, you're not an NLP practitioner. Who actually are you? What is it you bring to the world? And my coach, a very inspirational mentor called Jamie Smart, said to me years ago, Johnny, if you didn't exist, if Johnny Cooper didn't exist, why would the world need to invent you? And this is as far away from regarding yourself as a commodity as possibly can be, isn't it? Nobody needs a distributor of a commodity, because there's always others. But if you can answer that question, if you didn't exist, why the world need to invent you? It's a big thought exercise. Take your time over it. But that is a wonderful insight once you actually grasp that. Okay, let me just scroll down this page, because I want to read this. This is inspired, and I'm not at all ashamed of admitting that I take inspiration from great mentors and smart people all around the world. I do that all the time, and so should you. So Mitch Miller said the following: develop your own phraseology and language, because it removes comparison to competition. Therefore, you dictate value, and they can't price shop, because you are it. What I mean by it is they can only get it from you, right? Let's just read this again. Develop your own phraseology and language, because it removes comparisons to competition. Therefore, you dictate value, and they, your clients, can't price shop, because you are it. Isn't that fantastic? Give us a yay if you like that. Give us a yay if that makes sense. Just give us a yay in the comments for your support for that statement. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And indeed, what I did was I then expanded on it and made the point that in your business, your 21st century coaching or therapy business, this means understanding what you really bring to the world and spinning some new words around it, words and ideas and all that kind of thing. Okay. For example, look, you can see them here in JHM. That's the royal we, because it's probably me. I've invented these things, right? Hard helping instead of hard selling. So when we provide sales training to you guys, we encourage you to go out there in the spirit of hard helping. What does that mean? Well, it means when you're talking to someone or communicating with somebody you really want to help and you feel like you can help them, then go out of your way to make it as easy as possible for them to buy from you, whether that's an automated funnel or whether it's a conversation. Make it easy for them to buy from you. That's hard helping, right? It's not hard selling. Do you like that one? It's good, isn't it? Social cocoon says a thriving community. JHM, the John Yates Marketing Group, is a social cocoon. Why is it a social cocoon? Well, I've done whole presentations on this that take 90 minutes or more, but as a quick overview, social cocoon is somewhere where your ideal clients feel nurtured and valued and safe, somewhere where they can be themselves, somewhere where they enjoy exclusive content, some kind of exclusive experience that they can't get anywhere else. A social cocoon. What you're reading here is a daily brain tattoo. It's actually number 1765, because I've been doing daily brain tattoos since March 2017. I give myself Sundays off because God has a Sunday off, doesn't it? So I might as well. But 6 days a week since March 2017, I've written a daily brain tattoo. Wouldn't have anything like the power if I said, I'm going to send you an email every day, would it? Because anybody could send you an email every day. Only Johnny does a daily brain tattoo, so don't steal that, whatever you do. This session that you're watching now, that you're experiencing, and thank you all for being here, by the way. Thank Flip, it's Friday. I could call this, as many coaches do, weekly live training. Weekly live training session. Weekly live training on Saturday. Or Friday or whatever, right? Hi Karen, back at you. But that isn't what we're about, is it? That isn't what we're about. Thank Flip It's Friday resonates a lot deeper than just a weekly live stream. If you join our Client Attraction Academy, and if you're not in it yet, why not? You get a weekly Academy secret session on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock UK. Now, I could call those, as many coaches do, VIP coaching calls. VIP coaching this afternoon, 2 o'clock. Whatever. But Academy secret session sounds like something special, doesn't it? It's got the word secret in it. It's obviously only for the Academy members, but it's a brand, it's a phrase, it's language that we've used. Our program is the Client Attraction Blueprint, our 12-week guided program, instead of just, a marketing course. I've launched my new marketing course. Well, okay, well done. So has everybody else. But, very few people, if any, I suppose that's, we could argue that we can probably do a Google search and find other client attraction blueprints, but nevertheless, it's distinctive, isn't it? Yeah. And point I wanted to make here, and we're going to do a workshop in a bit, by the way, so don't go away. Need your fingers on your keyboards anytime shortly. The difference there is that nobody else has those things but me. I can absolutely make a claim to probably these and say, no, well, probably all 5 of these, actually. Nobody else is doing any of these. Maybe there's 1 or 2 other client attraction blueprints, but what the hell? Nobody else has those things but me, and if they do, they probably copied them from me, right? So this is the point we want to make. I'm going to unshare the screen, and we're going to get stuck into a little bit of interaction from you guys for a Friday afternoon. What I'd like to do to start with is type anything in the comments here which you have invented and you've branded and named as uniquely yours. This could be a course, it could be a group, your Facebook group, it could be it could be a website, a web address, for example. It could be the name of your company, how you show up, the brand name under which you show up. It could also be just a concept, like hard helping, that kind of thing. But let's just do a bit of a brain dump. Just type in the comments here something that you've made up to attract your ideal clients, which is uniquely yours, that to the best of your knowledge nobody else is doing or saying. Let's see where we've got to. And the purpose of this is what we're going to do is a little bit of workshopping around it. We'll have a look at what you've done, and we'll talk about it. I'll show it on the screen, and we'll see if we can optimize anything. If there's anything there that's a little bit less amazing than it could be, perhaps. Let's have a look. So we have got from Mimi, Radiant Life, Reigniting Your Dreams. So here we go. So Mimi is the Radiant Life lady. Yeah, Radiant Life. I will say as well, if you brand something with 2 words, you better make sure that those words are different to a pair of words that other people are using. It's easy to do that with 3 words, isn't it? Because all the thousands of words there are. Once you start putting 3 words together, there are millions of combinations, aren't there? I expect probably trillions, actually. So think about that. Maybe if you're going to brand something, try 3 words if you like. All right, brilliant. Let's have a look. So Stephen Jones, I'll wait until stop selling, start growing. Yeah, that's a nice framing, isn't it? What we've got in there are what we call, Stephen, I'm sure you know this, a push motivator and a pull motivator. Because the push motivator there is the stop selling. Um, how many entrepreneurs go, oh, I just wish I didn't have to sell. I hate selling. Just don't want to sell stuff. Just want to get on with it, right? And we've got the pull motivator. These are the things that people feel drawn towards, which in Stephen's words, that is growing, growth in your business. So we've got this dichotomy between a bad thing, which we all hate, which is selling, and a good thing, which we all love, which is growing. You see how that works? So if you're going to do that, if you're going to pair something up there, think of that holy alliance of something they're trying to get away from and something they want to move towards. But that's beautiful. Yeah, that is really nice. Friday F words in 15. Shelley, I haven't got a Scooby what you're on about there. Friday F words in 15. Can you elucidate, please? Just type a little bit more in another comment about what you mean by that. Because I love you lots, but I've no idea what you're on about. So conscious creators. I wish you knew who you were. Could you actually just say who you are? Facebook user, conscious creator is your Facebook group. That's not bad, is it? I mean, it's the kind of thing, of course, that needs a subtitle, to explain it. It's not utterly explanatory, is it? So Shelley says it's, oh, I see, right, okay. So do you know when we queried Shelley to say Friday F words in 15? And I said, what the bloody hell you're on about? And she goes, so I'll come on weekly go live. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, Friday F words in 15, so 15 minutes. I'm guessing is what that means. Yes, that's nice. Yeah, good one. Good one. Let's have a look. So we've got and go. Yeah, again, Facebook user. Number one, we don't know who you are because you haven't given StreamYard permission to display your name. Second, I'm not quite sure what that means. And go. Sounds intriguing. I'd love to know what it does mean. Can you give us any more clarity on that? Type that in give us a comment as to what that means. And here's a bit of an endorsement for our program. Karen en France says she hasn't done anything yet, but we'll definitely do in the CAB. This is oftentimes, by the way, why coaches and therapists in our community join the Client Attraction Blueprint program, because this is a difficult thing to do, isn't it? It can be a bit of a problem. If you regard yourself internally as a fully formed, highly skilled practitioner, as a therapist or as a coach, it's hard to break out of that worldview, that mindset, that self-image, isn't it? And think, well, what actually am I? What am I doing? What is it that's unique about me? What could be my unique IP? I'll just touch on that concept, by the way. IP, this is called intellectual property, and this is something which you own, which is yours, and potentially is capable even of being trademarked. I'm not suggesting that you go to the lengths of trademarking stuff at this point. There's probably no need, as you're just getting rolling anyway. It's highly unlikely that people are going to literally pick up on the stuff. Some of these examples here, like daily brain tattoos, thankfully it's Friday. Well, good luck to anybody if they want to steal those and copy them. They're not me, are they? They're not going to do it like me. Just like nobody's going to do the Friday F words in 15 like Shelley, even if they decide to pick that up. But I guess one of the little tips here is that the more quirky you make it, and the more personalized to you, so it is, it wouldn't make sense if anybody else said it. The more you can do that, the more it's going to be, interesting. Just while we're talking about IP, in the UK, there is an organisation called the IPO, the Intellectual Property Office. That's where you get trademarks. I actually have trademarked Social Cocoon, I must say, because I see a big role for the Social Cocoon in the future of our business. So that is trademarked, so nobody else can nick that. But it's probably not worth it when you get rolling, because you might change your mind anyway. Now, I think if you come up with an idea that sounds reasonable, and you go to all the lengths of trademarking it, and then you try it with your tribe and they all hate it. So you've wasted a bit of money and a bit of time. And so I would say just get on with it first. Get on with it first, and then think about whether you need to trademark it or not, basically. Okay, so we've got some clarity here. So Elkie Bayer, hello Elkie. Om and Go is a spiritual mind for a modern world. Essays on personal growth and meditations. Is there anything in the OM then? Does Om mean anything to me? Unless you're just going Om. Is it the noise you make? Om. Is that what you do when you? I'm just trying to get my hand in the screen. Om. Om. Is that what it means? Om and Go. I don't know. Yes. Who's Conscious Creators, by the way? Is that you as well, Elkie? I don't know. But that's quite interesting. If you just joined us, we're talking about phrases and words that are uniquely yours, stuff that you've made up. And there's some examples here. In our world, we've invented these ideas like hard helping instead of hard selling, social cocoon concept, which we are going to be developing. That is literally trademarked right now. These daily brain tattoos that I've been doing since March 2017. These sessions, the Black Friday, instead of VIP coaching calls, call them something else called Academy Secret Sessions. It just sounds like a little bit more exclusive and exciting, doesn't it? That sort of thing. And you can see the difference, can't you? Because nobody else has those things but JHM. And if you see them anywhere else, they're probably copied them from you, haven't they? So I'm really liking this. We're getting a good vibe going. Simon's come up with a nice one here called the Integrated Fit Pro. It looks like you've registered that as well, Simon. Well done. What I want to do is just distinguish between that little R that Simon's put in the chat here. These are called superscripts. There's an R there which stands for registered. And the other way to do it is what you can see on the screen here, these little TMs. So the TM comes first. So when you've come up with an idea, you can just stick a TM on it. It doesn't mean anything. It has no legal standing. It doesn't actually entitle you to use that. But it tells the world that you've come up with an idea and it's your trademark, it's your idea. It also potentially, it doesn't have to, signals your intention to trademark it at some point in the future. So big brands do this and they foolishly release some amazing new product with a new name into the world before they've registered it. They can put TM on it. It's just kind of intention. It's a mark that you are probably going to be doing something, and it looks good. It adds a bit of kudos, doesn't it, to it? But when you actually have registered it at your, the national agency that registers stuff in the UK, as I say, it's called the IPO. You can put an R on it. And that means a registered trademark, and that is bing bang bosh. You'd better not call yourself Integrated Fit Pro, otherwise Simon's going to come down on you like a ton of bricks, and his lawyers will be meeting with your lawyers and negotiating some kind of settlement. Yes, apologies. I called Elkie Ellie. I didn't mean to. I know you called Elkie, by the way. Oh, right. So you put. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So you wrote Ellie, and you're not Ellie. You're Elkie. Elkie spelled her own name wrong. Got to be careful with that, haven't you? Conscious Creators is mine as well. The whole title is Personal Growth and Mindset Mastery for Conscious Creators. Yeah. So that's nice, isn't it? That sounds like some IP, which is unique to Elkie, not Ellie, without a doubt. And as Simon said, he's actually registered that. So we've got a little bit of something going on here, which is where we've understood the difference between just claiming something as your trademark and actually physically registering it. So if you want to, and you're pretty sure this is going to be your way forward, you can register it, and that just, it just gives people an extra little disincentive to try and copy it and steal it. As I've no doubt, Simon has understood and investigated, it's bloody hard to defend a trademark infringement. if somebody does it, you've got to weigh up the cost of suing them, haven't you, versus the the benefit to you of not having them in the world anymore. So yeah, I think most of the time with micro businesses like ours, we're almost kind of just flattered and a little amused if people copy the stuff we're doing, because they're not us, are they? Okay, I just want to go back to the start with this and just to emphasize how all this stuff is eliminating your competition. What it is doing is it is removing you from the commodity race. And to be clear, what we mean by that is a commodity is something which people can shop around for. It's something which can be purchased from a number of suppliers, providers, experts in our case. And it's something, therefore, which they will be taking price into account for when they decide to buy it. So looking at the price of coaching programs is much more likely to happen if you just say you're a coach, and it costs, I don't know, $200 an hour to work with me. They find somebody else they like equally as well, and it's $150 to work with them. They might work with the other person if you're both commoditizing your services. So there really and truly is no need to do that. I had an extreme example this week of this, by the way. I talked to a lady who is by profession a counsellor, and the point that we got to in our discussion was that counselling is not only a commodity, but it's something which in most developed countries is available, hit and miss, but it's available through the government, through social services. And therefore, by setting yourself up as a professional private counsellor, you're competing with free, never mind with, other people charging money. In the UK, the NHS has counselling, as doctors can recommend for certain traumatic conditions, that kind of stuff. So, there's a great example of something which is always going to be a commodity. And if you're competing with a free service, good grief, how on earth can you build a commercial enterprise around that? So what we have to do, and what we will do if we do all this stuff, is we elevate ourselves above the noise, above people who are charging by the hour, for example, above people who call themselves some kind of generic title, and absolutely we're elevating ourselves away from free support and services that people can get, from local authorities and social services, that kind of thing. So just to sum up, come up with something which is uniquely yours, brainstorm some names and ideas, and get on with it. And Stephen Jones got an interesting little angle on what we just mentioned about competing with free. Presumably, as a consumer of therapy, Steve, the NHS told you not to go to commercial therapists because they don't know what they're doing. They're not trained by the NHS. They're not free. They're going to charge you. Which is all a bit mad, isn't it? And you will get that, you will get that, of course. Okay, so we are going to stop because it is Black Friday. You've all got to dive onto Amazon. It's a rule, and you've got to buy some crazy shit that you don't need because it's cheap, and you got to fill within 6 months it'll be in the recycling. No, I'm only joking. Don't do that. Don't do that, by the way. The best way to save money on Black Friday is to not buy anything on Black Friday. That's the deal, isn't it? So promise me you'll do that. And all this good stuff on the Thankful It's Friday is recorded, is streamed into the group. You can actually go into the JHM group and look in the guides section. That's what Facebook calls them now. GUIDES, the guides. If you click in there, the very first set of guides is these miraculous little sessions that we do on a Friday afternoon. There wouldn't be anything like as good without you guys engaging and interacting. So I'm so pleased that you have. So it just remains for me to say have a fantastic weekend, whatever you're doing. And I will see you right back here this time next week. Love you lots. Bye.